Hello, awesome people out there. Welcome back to the channel. I am Geek Viz, who as always, and the Oscar March continues to march ahead. To march ahead. The next movie we have conquered here is F1, and that is what we're going to be talking about here today because I watched it, so I'm going to sit here and yap about it. Of course, if this is the first video you watch it in our Oscars March, and if you need to know, well, then let me tell you, Oscars March is me. I'm watching all of the nominees for Best Picture in this year's Academy Awards, which is just what 2 weeks away at this point. So I'm watching all of the movies up for Best Picture to kind of, to get myself familiar with all of them, and also kind of to see if how I feel about whoever takes home the trophy once we get to that award show. I have watched a ton of them so far. We're actually near the end of our journey here. F1 is the third to last here. We got two more movies left. We got Hamnet and we got Marty Supreme left we gotta watch. But every other one we've watched so far: Sentimental Value, The Secret Agent, which I may or may not have re-uploaded because it got fucking blocked like a week after it was uploaded. So thanks, YouTube. Yeah, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Train Dreams, One Battle After Another, and I feel like that's one I'm forgetting, but I think that's mostly all of them so far. So yeah, and we're continuing on today with Apple TV Plus's and WB's F1. So if you don't know, I go over this, I'll kind of give a general overview of the movie, just straight facts. Then I go over the story a little bit, then I go into important elements where I'll dive in too deep into the spoiler territory and just recanting the whole story. And I talk about what I liked, what I didn't like, and if Oscars March, we also talk about what other awards this particular movie is up for at the Academy Awards as well, and then just my general overall thoughts and maybe a final score if I remember to throw them in there. But yeah, if you haven't already, feel free to check out the rest of the Oscar March videos, as well as other stuff I got on here as well. Yesterday we uploaded our TV news for the news drop for this week. Tomorrow the video game one should be up. This one might be up pretty late, or maybe this one is up after that. I don't know. but that's how it goes. Actually, no, yeah, this should be up. This should be up the Thursday between. Yeah, that should be how it works. But yeah, so that's kind of how that goes. And then Hamnet will be up, not Hamnet, Begonia. There we go. That's why I was fucked it up. That's the one I forgot. Begonia will be up probably by the weekend, and then Hamnet and Marty Supreme will be up next week. So, and then our Oscars March will be completed. Our watch will come to an end. So there you go. So anyway, let's go ahead and go over F1 here, shall we? Let me let's play our video real quick. All right, so F1 released on June 27th, 2025. It is available on Apple TV Plus. The film is written by Joseph Kosinski and Aaron Kruger, and it is also directed by Joseph Kosinski as well. And the film stars David Pitt, Brad Pitt, Damson Idris, Kerry Condon, and Javier Bardem. So the story of F1 revolves around a retired racer by the name of Sonny Hayes, as he is pulled out of retirement to help out his old friend's failing F1 team. He'll have to work with the team's promising yet hot-headed and brash new rookie, Joshua Pierce, in order to drag this team off of the brink. So that is our general overview for the movie there. So here's some important notes to kind of talk about. So Sonny himself was a promising racer in the past. Him and his friend, who's played by Javier Bardem, name I'm blanking on right now. But yeah, hey, let me make sure. Yeah, so Sonny was a promising racer, teamed up with Javier Bardem's character, who he is helping out in this movie here. They promised racers, but an accident back in the day put him out of F1, put him on the shelf, and kind of put him out of racing overall. He still races anytime he can, but not in any official or major circuits. He races in very small circuits, kind of coming in as just like a, as a fill-in or anything like that. Also, the injuries he suffered from that first crash were pretty bad. And it's kind of viewed as another accident. It could cause him to have long-standing effects, such as things like paralysis, blindness, and maybe even, and he could possibly even die from the injuries as well. Yeah, so that's everything about Sonny. Let's go over kind of what the team. Apex GP is the name of the club. That's the club that Javier Bardem oversees, that Sonny kind of comes on to. They've never won a race or even qualified for one, so they don't have the best track record in the racing circuit. Ruben, there we go. That's his name. I had it written down here. Ruben, that's Javier Bardem's character. He is on the verge of selling the team, of having to sell the team due to how poorly they've been doing. And the only good thing the team kind of has so far, it's a couple things here. I have written Joshua, who's Davidson Idris' character, the young racer. But they do have another thing, Carrie Condon's character. I forget her name. She's kind of like the engineer of the team. She built and designed the car. She's also another promising aspect of the team as well. But besides all that, yeah, the team is on bad straits, and Ruben's gonna have to sell the team if they can't get their shit together. So those are your stakes for the movie there. That's about all I have for any important notes or of the like. So let's go ahead and get into what I liked about the movie. The camera work in the movie is fucking phenomenal here. Again, it's not like naturally like visually striking and visually beautiful like Train Dreams. I compare a lot of stuff to Train Dreams right now because I feel like Train Dreams is the best, has the best cinematography of all the movies I've seen so far. So it's not up to like the level of that, but the angles, they do a lot of top down angles, a lot of POV shots from outside the car looking in to the driver, even to the driver's point of view of viewing outside the car. All of that is there, and all of that just looks really, really damn good. Like one of the I'll talk about it a little bit later. But another thing I really like, the script. The script is really solid as well. It's low key. It's kind of crazy how good the script is, especially like a racing movie. Again, I don't watch a lot of racing movies. But when I think about a lot of racing movies, especially with me, of course, with a lot of like racing movies adapted from video games. Movies like Fast and the Furious or like Need for Speed. None of those scripts I feel like are this damn good. You know what I mean? So I can't lie. It was actually a little shocking to come across a movie that was this well written in this kind of subject matter. Granted, of course, like I said, I don't watch a lot, so like I don't know if things are like Ford versus Ferrari or anything of that nature. But again, that's less on the racing aspect, and that's more about just like cars. So like again, script really damn good in here, really really damn good. Another thing I liked, surprisingly, like low key, did not expect to learn so much about racing in this movie, which I know sounds weird, but like legitimately, I didn't think I would learn so much about it. Like, especially a lot of behind the scenes stuff, a lot of like the seeing things of like training, and all the stuff they go through and all the tech they have. Like, I didn't know. Okay, not surprising, but like I didn't know they had like this like a whole like. They have like a whole game setup where they do like test races on like a damn near like a VR video game setup where they have the specs of the car without actually being in the car, and they race on the track to kind of get used to it. Didn't know they had like all that kind of shit. things like tires. That was a big continuous thing in here too. The managing wheels on these F1 cars, which again, if you're a fan of it, it's like second nature to you. But like me not being a fan, and being like an outsider, it's one of those things. It's like, okay, you know what? That does kind of make sense. These tires going at such a high speed, and then the friction the sharp turns, the wear on these has to be pretty massive. So I didn't know that how often you got to change out your wheels in these kind of things. And even like a hard tire versus a soft tire, didn't know about all that shit. So that was interesting to learn in this as well. And like actual strategy, when it comes to on the racing circuit, like I didn't know about the team aspect of this either. Like having two racers on like the same team on the track at the same time was kind of weird. I didn't know how that exactly works, but like all of that shit, attacking and defending, it was all very cool stuff to see that I really did not expect to see in this movie. But it was nice to experience it though, I will admit. So yeah, let's see. Things I didn't like about the movie. The track list on here kind of sucks. Again, kind of weird, I know, but like, granted, a lot of it is not my kind of music, so I may be a little biased. But I wasn't really digging any of the music that they picked for the track list of this movie. So that's kind of a me thing, but yeah, it didn't really help. Another thing, color correction was kind of like a little weird on here as well. I noticed that in some of the shots, like sometimes everything kind of had like this weird like a green overlay on it sometimes, and then other times it had like this orange overlay on it that I thought was just kind of weird sometimes. It went away after a while, but there were some shots in there where I was like, why does it look like that? Why does it have this weird overlay on it that makes it look weird? But that was me. I just thought that was kind of weird. So yeah, that was everything I liked and everything I did not like. I do have a little additional notes here that I want to talk about here. The editing here. It's a little bit of a filmmaker notes, which I don't tend to do too much because I ain't gonna lie, I never think of anything to put here. But I did think of something for this one, and that was the editing. The editing and the camera work here. Very reminiscent of video games, of like racing video games, or even just video games that have a driving element to it. Like I mentioned, a lot of first-person POV shots, a lot of aerial shots. I'm glad this clip is actually playing because this kind of is directly kind of what I mean. You know what I mean? Just a lot of like POV. Different points in the car. It reminds me of like Cyberpunk 2077 or Grand Theft Auto, and they have the multiple camera angles you can use. Rockstar is really known for it. They have their little cinematic camera where you can you can just drive and the camera kind of changes shots and has a lot of sweeping motion shots, and a lot of POV from different points on the car. Like just stick a GoPro or they have a rig on the car, but it's in different spots so you get different angles. I thought all that was really good, and it did make things a lot more engaging and immersive, just like a video game. And I really dug it because one of my biggest issues about going into this movie was how to make that part particularly interesting, especially for somebody like me who I'm not into racing, because I think it's kind of I'm not into racing. I figured it's kind of just a boring sport. But this really worked. It really worked in this kind of medium with the editing and the camera work. It made it immersive. It makes you feel like you're in the car yourself. And that was one of the biggest issues I had, and they solved it kind of right off the bat. That scene play was actually like one of the opening scenes of the movie. I think it was more like the second scene, but it was all there. All that kind of camera work was there, and I thought that was really interesting how they made all of that work. But yeah, it was really cool. So I dug all of that stuff. All right, so Oscars March. So F1 is up for a total of 4 awards, and of course that also includes Best Picture. So the other 3 nominees are for editing, which again, not surprising. Honestly, this might be my front runner for the editing category from what I've seen so far of the 10 movies I'm watching here. It's also up for sound and visual effects as well, which also might give it a pretty good. One of the best things you can say about visual effects is some of the best visual effects are the ones you don't notice. And I will say I did not notice any visual effects shots or special effect things involved in this. So hey, kudos to them for getting that done. All right, so final thoughts to my score here. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I did not expect to like this movie so much. Like, no pun intended. This movie is kind of gas. Like no pun intended on that. This shit was gas. No lie. The editing was really the champion here, in conjecture with of course the camera work too. But like the camera work and the editing were like the champions here. It made the racing intense, visually engaging, made the camera work stand out more. So the two of those kind of coming into one another really worked out extremely well for this movie. Dame some Idris and Brad Pitt do play very likable, but yet still dickhead characters. Like both of them low-key were kind of assholes, but like still kind of likable. You know what I mean? So I really dug that. Solid, likable, yeah, dickhead characters. Carrie Condon was great in this as well. Javier Bardem was really good. They even did a pretty damn good job of focusing on like other like tertiary characters in the end. Like I say, and the writing in this was really good, really smart. All of this movie worked out really well. And for someone like myself who had no interest, no knowledge, and was like completely just not into F1 at the very least, this movie was actually very cool. And I learned so much about like just it was cool yet also informative, I guess I should say. And like I said, did not expect to like this movie that much. Like final score, I give it like a 7 or an 8. Low key, I think this might have jumped up to like my second favorite movie that I've watched so far. Number 1 is still Sinners. Number 2 was Frankenstein. But again, due to the fact that I kind of knew I was going to like Frankenstein, and I ended up liking it anyway. This one coming in as a surprise, very much in the same reminiscent of like Train Dreams, where I went into it not having a lot of expectations, and I'm walking away from it just with a ton of expectations, if that makes sense. But yeah, I liked this movie so much more than I thought I was going into it. And that's kind of why I was like, this movie really jumped up the list for me. So it's like I said, it's probably my second favorite movie I've seen so far. And again, from a technical aspect, the visuals, the sound, and you combine that with some really tight, good writing. Again, like I said, this movie was pretty good. I just seen it in the clip. I forgot the guy who did this. The guy who did the Top Gun sequel. And from what I hear, he did it. A lot of the things that work in this one. But I believe he pulled off in that one, and I see it now. So I'm gonna have to check out that Top Gun movie as well. Low key, I have not seen the original Top Gun, so I'm gonna have to check out both of those. But anyway, that is it for this. This I just watched. That's F1. Really liked the movie. Really well done. Surprised by how much I ended up actually liking this movie. But yeah, so if I was ranking, like I said, this moves up to number 2, so rankings probably at this point look like number one is still Sinners. Again, I liked it, but I ain't like it as much as I like Sinners. But yeah, I think it's Sinners. This is number 2. Frankenstein is 3. Train Dreams is still sitting at 4. And I think after that it's Sentimental Value. This is how I said: Sentimental Value, Secret Agent, and then One Battle After Another. I think that's where I would sit with them as of right now. Hopefully, I'm not forgetting anything, but I don't think I am. But hey, just remember, I'm pretty sure at the end of all this, I'm pretty sure one battle out there is still gonna sit at the bottom of this ranking. So yeah, so that's it for I Just Watched F1. Again, if you're interested, check out the rest of these videos on the channel. I think at the end, for that final week before the awards take place, I think I'm gonna have something where I take all these movies and I sort of like I start to I take some of the other big awards like directing, acting, editing. I think I'll take all those, and then from these 10, I'll kind of just give my guess, my pick for which of these 10 should win those awards. I might do that for that last week because again, I already watched Sinners, so I'm not gonna do a new video on it. But I might do that for when that final week comes around before the Oscar comes off. But anyway, that's it. I just watched F1. Like I said, feel free to check out some of the others I did on the channel. Feel free to check out some of the other stuff I got on the channel as well. As I mentioned, our TV movie news dropped yesterday. Video game ones comes out tomorrow. The movie one dropped earlier in the week. I had a video on High Guard, as it was just announced that game is coming to a close next week. So feel free, if you're interested in movies, TV, video games, if any of those interest you, check out the channel because I go over all of those in the end. So anyway, that's it for this episode of I Just Watched. Get ready for video game news drop tomorrow, and we got Begonia, which I'm about to record right after that. I've been doing a lot of fucking recording this week, but yeah, and I'm pretty much do Begonia right after I wrap this up, so that'll be coming over the weekend. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I do very much appreciate it. So until next time, everybody, always remember to stay watching, stay playing, to stay awesome, and most importantly, to stay safe out there. Until next time, everybody, I will see you all later. Goodbye.